Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple of hours, along with who that?
Don't talk too loud. I'm on an undercover assignment here, investigating the supply chain shortage.
Spence is here with us, and Gal is here.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software, by DudeInIT.com, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Another week.
Another week.
And your video is delayed.
Yeah, I noticed that. This is this new webcam.
So
and
which webcam is it?
It's just a generic Chinese one. China needed a new webcam. There was like a $30 off Black Friday, early Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
I pulled the trigger saying, let's test it. And I've tested it. No good.
Oh.
Well,
it's 30p and it's not doing a good job. Yeah.
I mean, is that the first time you're using it?
Yes. I mean, I tested it, but it's...
And even in the tests, you found out that it was not good?
In the test, it seemed okay, but now that I'm using it live, it's really choppy. I don't know why.
Go ahead and try and reconnect, because it may not
No, it has nothing to do with... It's not really good.
All right, that's up to you.
This is probably a bit better. I reduced the resolution.
Yeah.
But it's still, yeah.
What did you put it on? What originally?
It's a 4K camera. I wanted to see if it can feed the 4K.
It's not going to come here, though.
Sure, then it needs to do the compression and resolution change needs to happen on this end, not on your end. I see it delayed.
What is it on now? What did you change it to?
To 180p, but okay. I doubt it goes 180p to zoom.
Yeah, because now you're right. It's fine.
One thing it does do better than the Logitech is the light flickering. So right now it's on 50 hertz,
and
when it's on 60 hertz, it looks a lot like the Logitech one, but the Logitech one doesn't tune out the flickering as well as this. So
right now you're on 50 hertz.
Yep, surprisingly, I know.
Yeah.
I wonder if that has something to do with the power supply itself. I mean, not that there's something wrong with the power supply, but the fact that you're on 50 hertz, it must be some conflict or something going on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that's the only one I could figure out. So this is 50 hertz, what we're seeing right now, and now I've switched to 60 hertz, and you should see some flickering, I think. Wait, fly. I don't know if you can see it right now.
No.
And
Maybe
then
it's-
again, it just might be that they, flipped the chip. And for some reason, when you're using 50 chip, it's doing 60. And when you're doing 60, it's doing 50, right? It is a no brand with
Yeah.
zero history. So, I mean, it can be just, a fluke in the design.
Yeah.
Can be
I mean,
anything.
uh-oh. Keep talking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, you're getting scratchy now.
Yeah. And now is the other thing. There's like huge CPU usage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Both of you guys. are-
Okay. Now 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, fine.
Should be better. Yeah, that's another thing. The Logitech at least had some framing control that's probably in the hardware. Here I need to use something like OBS to crop the image so it won't be too large. Yeah. Disappointing. Anyway,
Oh, well. How much was it?
less than $30.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I pulled the trigger.
Yeah, no, it's fine. As
But
long as you can return
it's
it.
going back to Amazon.
Yep. Funny you mentioned OBS. There was a story this week. They're suing other
Streamables.
another company that live stream, something like that used their name OBS in their
Streamable.
who?
Streamable. I think is their name.
Oh,
Streamable OBS.
by who?
Streamlabs. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Streamlabs.
Yeah.
That's who it
Streamlabs.
was.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And yeah,
I mispronounce the name
and
every
it's,
time.
And it's
Sorry.
weird. The interesting thing is that at the end of the article, they were saying OBS was saying that Streamlabs did everything legally, but they're not playing nice because they asked OBS if they can use the name, and OBS said, "No, we don't. We'd like you to not use it." I don't know why it can't be just hard, cast in stone. No, you can't use it. Not we asked them real nice not to, and they kept on using it. I don't know what's going to come out of it. It was interesting, very interesting.
I mean, when you look at big open source projects like Firefox, everything in Firefox is open source except the logo and the name. That's trademarked. They actually registered it as a trademark.
Yeah, well, they should.
Yeah. So I'm guessing this is the same case. I don't know if OBS did the work or not, but
I don't know.
yeah, I was. I think it's the same thing with Ubuntu and Debian, right? They cannot use Debian as part of the name or
Right.
anything like that, right? But they're using everything from the upstream Debian. So yeah.
All right. So now I had an interesting situation this week, which I cannot understand why, but I'm sure there's a good reason. The streaming machine, the 24/7, had a problem with the video card. And it's been a problem for some time. I mean, you see little squares over the screen here and there. So it tells you that it's the RAM. The RAM is
Okay.
not. And
Yeah.
the last 2 weeks, when I try to like move a window or open something else, it always pauses, and then I get at the bottom, the display driver stopped responding and restarted, and
Okay.
everything keeps going. And if you leave it alone, everything is working fine. There's no problem. But I said, well, I
Okay.
don't want to take any chance. So I found. I mean, this is an old video card. It's a GS something 450. I can't remember. So an old, like years, 1 GB RAM. So I found one and I ordered it. All of the $16. And I said, the reason I wanted to get the same one, I said, I'll put it in and everything should work because it is the same card. Well,
Yeah, it's
that
the
didn't.
same card, but it's different hardware. It needs to install
Yeah.
drivers again and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
It could
so
be just
when
a little bit different firmware.
it
No,
could,
think
it could be.
about putting two video cards on the same bus. It's possible. So it's not the same card, right?
Well,
It has some different IDs, so it needs to go through the installation process.
yeah, and I did not do it to begin with. So when I put it in and I brought it up, it came up, but the screen was all screwy. So I went and I set up
the resolution. Yeah,
the resolution, but then there were other things that didn't work. So I said, okay, I'm just going to take it out and reinstall it. And sure enough, reinstalling it did everything, and it was good because there were probably about 7 or 8 NVIDIA listings in the apps and the device manager.
Yeah.
In device manager, because this is Windows 7. And now there are only about 4. So I'm sure I had some stuff from before that was still there. I don't know.
There's a fantastic piece of software, it's like a small portable app that's called Ghostbuster. And what it does, it goes through the device registry, everything you see in Device Manager, and allows you to select what to clean up. And it cleans up all of the ghost devices. Any device that was installed in the past but isn't currently used, it cleans up their existence. So this is very similar to, when you Brother printers, they have an uninstall utility, like a global uninstall utility. It's very simple to what that does for Brother printers, but for the rest of the drivers, it cleans up any history of a device. So let's say you plugged in during the last, I don't know, 10 years, you plugged in different USB keys to the machine, right? So in the registry, there's probably hundreds of listings because every USB plug that you use, even if it's the same USB key, it'll have a different ID.
Yeah.
And so you'll have a different ghost in it. So it cleans up all of those ghosts, and then reinstalling stuff is usually a lot more predictable. It's because it's a cleaner system. So I would recommend you run that tool there, Ghostbuster.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. I'll send the link in chat so people can.
That's good. So yeah.
Right. So using that next to Snappy Driver Installer Origin, using those two together usually gets you a very, very effective system driver-wise. So
yeah, I mean it was weird because the sound stopped working altogether, but once I rebooted, everything was back to normal. And the nice thing is, I have the desktop arranged in a certain way, and when I brought it up, it was all just lined up the way that by default.
Yeah,
The Windows.
because of the
I said,
resolution.
"Oh shoot!" But once I installed the driver again, everything went back the way it was.
Because you're returning to the resolution where you set it up, and that's how Windows saves it. Yeah,
that was good. Yeah, that was
before Windows did that. There is, I think it's still around there, like something called Desktop OK or something like that. It's like a small app that you run in the tray, and you can right click and save the current
I think you can.
icon
I think you do
icon
that
settings.
by F5 or something like this. Or I mean,
No, what you're talking about is allowing Explorer, the Explorer exe, to save the state. But if you
okay.
want to switch to a different state, like have your themes, right, something like that, you can actually save it. But yeah.
Oh.
When it comes to tools like that, I have like a long list I can recommend. I use a lot of crap. I test a lot of shit. So yeah.
Yeah, but it was good. It's everything is back to normal, and no more of those. I don't call them pixels. They're not pixels. They are like maybe a quarter inch by quarter inch squares.
They're regions, they're screen
Yeah.
regions basically. But yeah.
So it definitely
That's
was.
that's the neighborhood as opposed to the house.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole neighborhood gets blacklisted.
Yeah, the whole neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I had with that thing. Oh shoot! Now, I mean, at least I
I'll be
did it
back in
in
a sec.
middle of the week, and I said, if something happens, we'll get it fixed by Sunday, because this week I don't have any shows to do, so it's nice. And the one thing that didn't work when I did all this back and forth is the Bluetooth USB adapter didn't work. So this morning, this is why it took time for me to start the shows, because I control that machine with a Bluetooth mouse from here, and it wouldn't do anything. So I had to disconnect myself from the wires and go up there and do it and come back and reconnect. But it's the fun of doing live shows, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
is.
it would be very boring if everything always worked.
Absolutely. It's give you get excited over things like that.
I mean, just coming back, being away, and then firing up computers for the first time in almost 2 weeks. It's amazing how much happens while, like, oh, suddenly there's an update. This has to change. That has to change. You go through that process and you find out, or try to print something and something's not right, or.
So Spence, you have an iPhone, right?
I do.
Yeah. So Apple last week announced self-service repair. A new program designed to let users perform common repairs on devices at home. Through the program, users with damaged devices will be sent Apple genuine tools and components, same as the one they use at the Genius Bar. The company will also be offering up online repair manuals, text, not video, accessible through the new Apple self-service repair online store. Hey, they have a new thing.
Can you imagine the huge policy shift this is for them? And
I mean,
wouldn't it be nice if they'd come out with this like a couple of months into the pandemic?
But they look, they won't let the professionals do it. I see. I mean, I always look for conspiracies, right? This is, oh, my screen is messed up. Apple, would you send me the stuff? Yeah. Now you messed up the screen. So now what do? You buy a new iPhone, or you pay Apple to fix it. It's not going to be easy stuff. I mean, a lot of people are going to say, oh, I'm going to save $400 and do it myself.
Well, yeah, just watch a video on how to change the glass.
Well,
on one of these, on a broke, because what is the iPhone now? The 13, or I don't remember which one it is, the 14. That's got a glass case on both sides.
Yeah, I know.
And just think about you got to have a special heater.
Yeah.
But you lay the thing on to warm it up to get the glass off.
And why won't they send this stuff to the repair shops that ask for it?
Well, this is probably a reaction to the repair shops to say,
Well,
we're losing business to these guys, and we're going to try to get some. People are doing this stuff themselves on their own anyway, so we may as well get a piece of the action here, right? I mean, if this is,
I'm guessing it's something else.
what are you
What
guessing?
could-
I'm
What could it
actually
be?
guessing. So this is all about right to repair, right?
Yeah.
So this is their way of saying, hey, you got the right to repair. So Amnon's spin on this is probably more close to reality. Is they are saying we have a ton of manufacturers either stealing inventory items from the production lines, right?
Mhm.
Or creating incompatible items. And in reality, replacing them isn't that hard. It's not as if only professionals can do it. But yes, you need to have some experience. You need to have steady hands, right?
Yep.
These are small components. So they're saying, let's prove, right, to the next congressional hearing or whatever, right, that
Yeah.
if we allow people to do it, they are going to mess up more than they are actually going to fix. This is like, you want it? Here, get it.
Yeah, and
Take it.
then they
But
ultimately
if you
will be
make money out
buying
of it, no.
You'll have people walking into the store like I did with my iPhone, when I didn't realize that I hadn't gotten all the moisture out of it when I fired it up again. I had to go buy a new phone. Not that, but it's no big deal because the phone was 4 years old. You know, if I got a little more life out of it with the new battery, it would have been good. But still,
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, it's only iPhone 12 and further, not going back to anything older than
Yeah,
the 12.
well,
Yeah.
that's fine. That
No, I
has
realize,
nothing to
and
do with
I
it, yeah.
wouldn't. I'd say to open up that liability to go back further than that would be stupid on their part.
I mean,
But
I
you're
think
right. It accomplishes exactly what you're saying.
if I had an iPhone and I had a problem with it that needed a repair, and I mean, even though I consider myself handy, I would probably get it from them, take it to one of those you break, we fix, whatever. Say, here, guys, here are the tools and here are the thing. How much will you charge me to replace it?
Yeah.
And
And
let them do it. And now they have the tools. And before we know it, all you have to take to them is the part that you get from Apple.
yeah, and they're definitely, that's part of the business model that it's going to grow now, right?
Yeah, or exactly.
Is like, you know exactly how much Apple charges for these parts.
Mm-hmm.
Either you buy the parts or we buy them for you, and we'll do it.
Right.
So yeah,
Yep. And it'll work out. It'll work fine. But it's just interesting. So let's see. The system is similar to the one the company rolled out for independent repair providers, of which there are currently 2,800 in the US, plus 5,000 Apple authorized service providers, beginning with the iPhone 12 and 13, focused on display, battery, and camera fixing. A similar service for M1 Max will be launching soon after. So it's also for the Macs. So we'll see. Yep. It may be a whole industry, and it will actually be doing nice.
you know, just the sheer volume, it's going to be a whole industry, right? So
All right, let's go. Let's change directions here. Gal, that's your area. Softening the blow of a monthly price hike, Disney is offering subscribers to Hulu's live TV service access to Disney Plus and ESPN Plus at no extra charge. Beginning on December 21st, the Hulu Plus live TV package will cost $5 more each month. So Hulu is raising the price. It will go
But
up.
you're getting Disney Plus with it?
But yeah, that's how they do it. So they say it will go up to $70.
Yeah.
With
this is cables all over again.
Yeah. With the ad-supported tier of Hulu's on-demand service and $76 with the ad-free Hulu. Notifications to subscribers have just gone out this morning. That's last week. New bundle builds on success the company has had with its combined offering of Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and on-demand Hulu. That trio was announced in mid-2019, just before the record-setting launch of Disney Plus, and had helped ESPN Plus and Hulu to continue consistent growth. So you're going to get Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, which how much do they cost?
Disney Plus is like $8 or $9 a month.
Disney Plus, yeah,
depends on they're out there promoting it all the time.
Right.
You get free Disney Plus with things, but I think it now with the regular price is around $8 or $9 a month.
So $76 now. And what do you get with Hulu? What is? Do you know what Hulu?
Well,
what
Hulu
There's
do
a
they
lot
call
of
it?
content in Hulu.
you get like if there's an over-the-air show that is premieres and is on today, you might find it tomorrow on Hulu. So
Yeah, but they what do they call it? They did an offering subscribe Hulu Live TV service. What is Hulu Live?
Hulu Live is like
Do you get?
YouTube TV.
Oh, so you still
Yeah.
don't get your local shows, your local stations.
I actually don't know how much. I mean, even with YouTube TV, you do get your local stations if they operate in your area.
Okay.
I mean, you can't register for YouTube TV unless you are in an area that they serve, which means they provide local content.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so
right. Yeah.
if then even if you travel, you still get your local content from home.
Yeah, according to
So
the
you always
webpage-
need to.
Go ahead.
What's that?
I was
Yeah,
going
go
to say,
ahead.
according to the webpage, they say it's live channels and on demand. So 75 of the top channels you can watch live, whatever their live feed is. So you can pick your region and get your local over-the-air
Right.
channels, provided they have an agreement with Hulu.
Yeah, and that means ad-based content, right? It's
Yeah.
it's exactly like getting the TV. They might be switching the ads during ad breaks, but other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and the list goes on.
But here's the interesting thing. So Disney Plus is 2 years old. November 2019, right? Just before Thanksgiving 2019, they launched. And for the first year, right, we know that most of the subscribers were free subscribers. Those who got it was Apple. I think that was the package. You bought an Apple product, either Apple TV or an iPhone or something like that, and you would get a year worth of Disney Plus. So now we're 2 years in. The Wikipedia page states 118 million subscribers. Netflix, which is global, the Wikipedia states 214 million. Just about double, right? A bit less than double. That is a huge competition. So I'm guessing Disney is just busy making sure that they get a lot more users. Now I don't know about Disney. I don't think Disney is. I think Disney is America right now. Okay, it says America's Western Europe, so it is in Europe and parts of Indo-Pacific. So it's not totally global yet, but that means they are competing in the same regions. This is interesting. This is very interesting. In just 2 years, they were able to create a platform that is as large as Netflix. So they're probably doing something right. I mean, their content is good. I can tell you that. With they're having Marvel under their belt and all of the Disney stuff. It's hard to compete, especially when they pulled it out of all of the other competing services. But the price hike, that sounds like standard tactics. You know, you remember when cable would, they still do it, bundle HBO for 3 months, stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, that smells exactly the same thing.
Yeah, they're going to get you one way or another.
Yeah.
They're just kind of trying to soften the blow.
It's very clever because it's a subscription that if you don't pay attention to when it expires, automatically renews. And
Yeah.
when it's just a good time when we talk about XM radio, because I just had the similar experience with a renewable subscription. But yeah, Disney has great content. There's no question about that. But
and the content seems to be driving in people. So
yeah, what I don't like about what's happening at Disney is some of their content now is becoming beyond. I mean, definitely not good for anybody under 17.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just watch Deadpool. It is not
yeah, but they
appropriate.
have the PG version of Deadpool, no?
They may. It's hard. It would be really hard to do that because you're cutting out a lot of content.
So
But-
surprisingly, when Deadpool 2 came out, it came out like summer or just before summer or something like that. And then close to Christmas, they issued out a direct to video. I think it was direct to video. I don't think it went to cinemas. A PG version of this, PG-13 version of it, where he Deadpool kidnaps what's his name? The Savage, I think, the kid from Princess Bride, and he reads him the story of Deadpool 2. And it's like this edited version of Deadpool 2. I have to say that's better than Deadpool 2.
Sounds
that
clever,
version.
though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good idea.
that was clever as hell. And so they cut like very, very it was very
Surgical.
non-subtle cuts
Yeah.
of content, right? Like complete scenes, but it's like because he's reading it to the kid, which is no longer a kid, it's an adult, which is captured and strained to the bed. and they skip like the really horrible, really, and it kept the story and actually made the story work a lot better because there weren't these elaborate torture kind scenes. So yeah,
It is.
maybe
It's
they know what
very
they're doing.
clever.
I don't know.
But
Yeah.
even just in its original form, it's very clever.
Yeah.
But it is. It could
Deadpool
be.
is great.
It could be pretty frightening just to kids to see some of
Oh,
the
yeah.
stuff that happened. I mean, it's very gross.
But you need to remember PG-13 is only about sex, right? Not about violence. If you
Right.
look at what PG-13 actually do, violence-wise, there's like those head decapitation they can even go with. It's like there's everything.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right. If you're paying for your unlimited cellular service plan, but have been living on a Wi-Fi connection since 2020, Boost Mobile is offering an interesting proposition for new and existing customers. you can get 12 months of unlimited talk and text plus 1 gig of 4G or 5G data per month for just $100 for the year plus tax.
Ooh.
So $100 and you get all that. Considerably less than even the lowest cost prepaid plans.
That's cheaper than a burner phone.
Well, both current and new customers who have an active Boost phone and can commit to using Boost for a year will be eligible for these new plans. Now, you can buy more data if you need it. I think it was like $5 for each additional gig. And if you want unlimited, it goes up to $25 a month. But now Boost
Still not expensive.
No, that's
still
very good.
not as like the other ones. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. They are now part of AT&T. They're riding on AT&T Boost at this point.
Okay.
So you're getting AT&T service. So yeah, for people who are trying to save money and they don't use a lot of data and they don't care about not having a lot of data, hey, this is great. You pay $100 for the year.
I think this year, if I do make it up to Alaska, as I expect, I will be doing some canvassing up there to find out, because that's important to me, is that I get good service up there. So we need to make a decision and change. It's just Verizon is killing me.
Oh.
I'm ready. I would have been on Spectrum Mobile
But
had it not
cell
been. They don't support certain phones that my daughter has.
and cell coverage, is it okay there
Oh,
on
it's
your
very
route?
good. It's very good. Yeah, I bought on Verizon. And it wasn't their network in the beginning. It was. It's still. You can see you're roaming, but they tell you to turn on roaming when you land in the airport. You turn your phone on.
Everybody tells you to use roaming.
Yeah, it tells you now. When you get there, for the best experience in Alaska, turn on roaming, and here's how to set your phone up. And I had great coverage. I know people with AT&T up there didn't, and AT&T has the infrastructure. They actually have the towers, but Verizon has a store now in Fairbanks. I had to go when I had a problem with downloading the latest version of iOS. I had a weird bug where if you put the phone up to your head, the sensor wasn't acting right. If you just turn the phone a certain way without being up to your head, it would blank the screen, and it was a bug. And I had to download it. And it was a big download. And I couldn't do it across the broadband, so I went to the store, and I did it in their store.
But it fixed it.
The problem I have with Spectrum Mobile is you have to have Spectrum Internet. Can't just come in and buy the service without it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only good for Google and Apple phones. And very limited Android.
Let me tell you something. I went through a Spectrum Mobile ordeal for Donna. It started 2 weeks ago. Actually, it started about a month ago. Katie went and got an iPhone 12 or 13. I don't remember. And she had an iPhone 7 Plus, which Donna also has, the same phone. Donna's was cracked. So Katie told them that her mom is going to use that phone once she's happy with what's going on. Okay. You don't see anything wrong with that, right? Hey, there's going to be a phone and it's going to be available, so I'll use it. Well, what they did is and again, I wasn't there to know that this is exactly what she said, but they set up a new number on that phone. Didn't even give her the number. No, they did give her the number, and they gave her a card with a SIM on it, brand new. She never used that phone. She never installed the SIM in there. Then it came time when she said, okay, now I want to switch my phone, my number, to this phone. She took it to the store. They told her they cannot do it there. She has to call in. She called in, and they took her around and around and around. And finally, she called and she said, Amnon, would you help me with that? I said, sure, come on. Turns out, Spectrum could not do anything with that with the iPhone 7 of Katie's until the end of the billing cycle. They could not cancel it until it comes up for the monthly payment, which they stopped. And they said, we don't know why they put that on you, but we cannot give you any refund for that, even though you didn't use it. So this was 2 weeks ago, and they said the period ends on November 16th. And that's when the phone is going to be deactivated. We cannot deactivate it on demand, so to speak. Which, what? Okay, so they said on the 17th, you're going to need to call in and set it up. So the 17th, she came over because she said, Amnon, you mind? I said, no. So she came. And we're going through it. And we had to tell the story to 2 different people. And then they said, okay, yep, it should. We started at 11 o'clock. The guy was very nice. And he said, yep, you don't even need to swap the SIMs. We can change it from here. And he said, I'll let you know when it's done. It's going to take some time because we're doing it live online. Said, but in the meantime, you can, she said, Donna said, can I move all my programs to my new phones, the new phone? He said, oh, yeah. So she went through it, and you put phone next to phone, and it started doing it. Then the new phone also wanted to do an iOS update. And she told him, she said, so it's doing. He said, it's okay. It's just going to take a little longer. So we're on hold and, listening to their music, and it's going and it's going and it's going. And after about an hour and a half, he comes back online and he said, look, this is taking a little longer, but it's happening. It's almost done. How about I'll just give you a call back when it's done? I said, okay. So we're sitting there, and sure enough, it finished and it moved everything, and everything is fine. You try to make calls. Nope. It doesn't work. It says that the phone is disconnected or is no longer in service. All right. So we call again. And we get another guy who have to go through all of it again and look and this and that and the other. And did you do this? And please reset network setting and reset everything. And he says, and we're sitting outside, and he says, so do you see Spectrum on the upper left? I said, yeah. He said, and what does it say after that? I said, nothing. In the middle of the screen, it has the time. He said, no, you're not connecting. And he said, can you move around? I said, look, the tower is right out here. He said, well, can you just move around on the driveway? So I did, and it said 1X.
Oh.
And he said, no, you're not connected. I'm standing in one place, and it went to 3G. And he said, that's not good enough. He said, what you need to do is you need to drive around until you hit LTE, until you see LTE there, and then everything will be fine. I said, okay. And we're sitting back, and
Turning
he's
off the phone and turning it back wouldn't have done it.
We did many things. Nothing.
Damn.
But I forgot to say this, that in the beginning he was saying, we need to swap SIMs between the phones. I said, the guy was saying that he's fixing this SIM that's in the phone. He said, no, we need to swap. So we swapped them. So I said, Donna, get in the car. Come on, let's go drive. So we're driving. In only one place it hit LTE. I said, stop. So she stopped and we waited there. And it went, after about a minute, it went back to 3G. I said, okay, that maybe should fix it. But we couldn't call. So we came back. Call again. And now comes another girl.
At this time, do you have a direct line to them? Or do you call and wait? And
no, you call and wait. There's no direct line.
Damn.
Yeah. But actually, it was pretty fast. So another girl comes on. No, it was a guy. I'm sorry. So looking at it and looking at it and looking at it, and I said, and he read what was, he said, so you went out and it went to LTE? I said, yeah. He said, well, I see something wrong here. You need to swap the SIMs again. Okay, so we swapped the SIMs. The minute we swapped the SIMs, it went LTE. So I said, yeah, now I have LTE. So I tried to call with it. It says, sorry, we cannot authenticate you. Try to call it. Now it says that the user has the mailbox that has not been set up. It doesn't say disconnected or no longer in your service. So he said, let me see. So he's waiting and waiting and waiting. He said, you may need to go out again. He said, no, maybe something is wrong with the SIM. So I said, well, we have that new SIM that's still in the card. Will that help? He said, yeah, I can program it from here. I said, okay. He said, oh, wait a second. It just authenticated. It just went through. I said, okay. So I tried, and sure enough, everything is working. You know what time it is now? 5 o'clock.
You started when?
11.
Oh, man.
It was a ridiculous situation. It is like one hand doesn't know about the other. And I always say, Spectrum is not a phone company. What are they doing? They're riding on Verizon. It's a Verizon thing. So
it's a handshake thing. It's a think. It needs to synchronize. It's like there's so many systems in the middle.
It was ridiculous. But then
I wonder if the authentication systems are side by side or one on top of the other.
I don't know.
Because you obviously have to synchronize through whatever the carrier is it Verizon they're sitting on top of?
They're sitting on top of Verizon.
A bunch of carriers.
No. It's just Verizon.
Verizon. So in order for them, they must have either carved out a virtual authentication network for them. And then Verizon does it with a bunch of other people. Other people do it okay.
Well,
but here's the thing, right? This can't be the experience of every person buying a phone at Spectrum, right?
Right.
So, because if it was, then that company would be bust already.
Yeah.
So how come this situations are even, they're even, this is,
I don't know. And swap the SIM and swap them again. And yeah, there might be something wrong with the SIM, so let's use a new one. Oh no, wait, hey, it's just authenticated. And after that, it will not budge from LTE. It stayed at LTE in the same spot where we were getting 1X and 3G every now and then 3G. Most of the time, it was 1X or nothing.
It could be just their support structure. With you not having basically a dedicated person to help you, where you had to keep calling back and starting over every time with somebody new.
Yeah.
And I find that the support I get when I call in on something is like each person knows something different. What was it?
The thing is, at this point, you know how we always complain about, oh, come on, they're just reading from a sheet.
Script.
Yeah. Script. Well, it would be great if they did.
Yeah.
Because everybody would have the same thing, and it says, so what step did you get? Now let's go a little farther. But
No,
no.
if they're reading from a script, just send me the script. That'll be easier.
The last time I had a problem, I
Good Lord.
had to go to Verizon. When I had to switch to a temporary phone with Verizon for a couple of days, waiting for my new phone, that worked okay. But prior to that, a year and a half or 2 years ago, I had an issue. I had to go down there, and I was there for hours trying to get it fixed. And the part of the problem was that every time you got handed off to somebody else, they said, "Oh, I put it in the notes about what."
And there were hardly
and
any
they wouldn't
notes.
read the notes.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
they basically,
Ask-
well, go back and read the notes.
Yep.
And
Ask the guy who puts it in the notes, asking how many times he read the notes.
yeah,
No, I mean, I asked,
yeah.
and he said, I don't see any notes. I said, but it says, you know, I was getting really, really frustrated with them. And it just goes to prove. And the thing is, she went to the store, waited in line, and gave them the phones. They said they couldn't do it. That this needs to be done online.
Yeah, because the stores are just sales clerks. They
Well-
have zero technical knowledge and zero technical access. So even if they knew what to do, right, they can't.
I don't know, when you think, I mean, look, when you go into a Verizon store, they'll do everything from A to Z. There is no such thing you need to get. I mean, if they needed to program, if they needed to check it, I mean, they did everything at the store. Yeah, they went in the back and did it. I don't know that they did. Maybe they called somebody. But the thing is,
when I had to move to the temporary Android phone for a couple of days, the guy came out, took my information, had a tablet, punched a
Mhm.
bunch of stuff. And he says, give it a couple of minutes
Mhm.
and you should be on. And sure enough, boom,
Yep.
it was done. And didn't have to do anything. And I said, it's just until because I went in to say, I want to buy an iPhone SE, so we don't have it. It's going to be 3 to 6 weeks. So I bought it from Apple and I had it in 2 days. But
yeah, it's just amazing.
well,
Just
this is like
amazing.
your trip to the DMV, Amnon, for the
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah.
Amazing. You're right.
All right. Are
So
you
the
ready
problem
for
is
your
Amnon.
That's it. It's Amnon. He's
Yeah,
got
it's
a sign.
Amnon. Right.
He doesn't realize he's got a sign on his back that says, make this as
Sounds
difficult
like-
as possible for this person.
Donna
It
was
sounds like Katie and Donna did a mistake by going to you.
Donna was in tears. She was saying the people there were on speakers, and she at one point she said, "Look, if you can't fix it now, I'm changing and I'm going to another carrier." I mean,
And
she
they'll probably
was,
say, you can't. You signed an agreement with us.
no, there is no agreement.
You told
Well,
me
it's the first
you told
24
me
hours.
with Verizon. You said with Verizon that even though there's no agreement, they
That,
still want to charge you. For
that was a
leaving.
Verizon. This is
Yeah, but
Spectrum. Remember?
I mean, they could pull whatever they want out of their hat.
yeah. Well, yeah. What'd you say, Gal?
I mean, it's the first 24 hours. I think the law covers the first 14 days. So
No.
it
Anyway,
has nothing to do with whether there's an agreement or not. You can cancel.
everything is fine now.
Well, Verizon advertises no contract, but they hit Amnon when he moved.
Yeah.
telling
Yeah, I
them
remember
he
that.
owed them $400 in
Yeah.
fees.
The termination fees.
So did you ever hear anything more about that?
Yeah, I mean, they called back and they accepted my payment for the partial month that I was supposed to pay. I said, look, I waited until I heard from a collection agency. And I said, look, here is the thing. And I said, I'm going to pay for whatever I owe for that partial month. That's all I'm going to pay. And went back forth, and it was okay. And that was it. Then I got,
Did it ding you? Did you check your credit report? To see if it dinged you?
I don't think it dinged anything. I mean, I did after that. I don't remember. But I mean, look, at my age and with everything that we already have, I don't care about the credit report anyway. It doesn't. It's frozen. I'm not. I don't care about it. But the thing is that it's frustrating. Oh, anyway, Spence, you ready for specials?
I am ready.
You're already.
And
Me.
and in the fact that their Black Friday stuff has already started. I didn't do a Black Friday specials yet, and I will, but I was intrigued by how many new sites I found for tech great holiday gifts this year, 2021 best tech, blah, 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 you know. So I did find some interest. I'm basically compiling a list of sites, but because
did you get my email about the Verges? I sent you an email this morning.
No.
With a link to Amazon devices, early bird, whatever they call it.
I did search, and the one I'm doing today is actually Amazon gifts and gadgets.
All right.
And to be honest with you, I did it this way because it's so easy for me to create this, because I just captured the screen.
Let's go.
And the link. All right. So, whether you're ready or not, here it comes, right? And this one on the front page, Amnon, the guy with, I don't even know what that is, what that nose thing is the guy's got on, and he's using for his camera.
I have no idea,
is it a stylus you can use to write it? I don't know. It was just something I found online. I have no idea what that is.
I don't know.
But the thing is, he has his finger on the phone.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a olfactory thing where you put your nose over something on the screen and it reads the QR code and sends a certain smell up to your nose. Who knows? It could be.
I don't know.
Some bizarre stuff out there. Now, these are all, for the most part, I wouldn't call them mainstream necessarily, but they are mostly useful. There's a couple of things here that are a little weird, but they've actually got, it's called the 3D Doodler Create. It's a 3D printing pen.
It is cool as hell.
Isn't it something?
Yes.
I looked at
it. I
know.
know. I've bought this for my dad on its Kickstarter.
Yeah.
This is a very cool thing.
But now it does imply, to get the results, that you have some artistic ability.
Yeah. It's not.
This is going to be the subject of one of those I nailed it things, right? Where you got I'm going to bake this thing I saw online, and it comes out to be this blob on a tray. Nailed it, you know. So we're going to see that with this. But that's
so
okay.
This actually is this a 3D printer?
No, it's a.
So
3D,
this uses. Go ahead.
Yeah, it uses the same material as a 3D printer, but it's through the tip of a stylus, and you have a button that you press. And I don't know if it's speed controlled or not, or how fast it comes out. But you could
the speed is the same speed all the time. So
fix. Okay.
Okay. So I'll ask again and I'll answer. So is this a 3D printer? Yes, it is.
Yes, but it is human. There is no automatic control.
Right.
You move the pen.
Yeah.
So it is in fact a 3D printer stylus.
Yeah, and they have some cool tips on how to create. Because this isn't in any way natural, right? I mean, we are used to use a pen on a 2D surface,
right?
But in order to do 3D stuff, they come with like a few tips, and once you start, and if the person knows how to draw in 2D, they can create very quickly 3D stuff that is really, really cool. And it's like, think that you can sketch in 3D. It's awesome.
Yeah. When I looked at this, I was thinking, all right, so if I was to start from scratch on one of the little feet on this little creature here, would I complete the whole foot and go up, or would I just put down the first layer of the 3 pads of the feet, then move to the second layer and do that? So if there's probably 2 ways to do it, but you may actually do it the same way a 3D printer would be, where you deliver material to certain spots and then move to the next layer, move up to the next layer, move up to the next layer.
You do it anyway. I mean, if it's
not exactly, no. You would pull it. You would pull it somewhat naturally, a lot different than how a 3D printer would do it. I mean, think about it. You draw very different than a dot matrix printer, right?
Yeah.
But what
So
I'm saying is,
you don't
it
need
would
to
be
emulate
possible.
it.
It would be possible for you to retrain yourself to do that. If you
Probably. I mean, there are.
if you could think in 3 dimensions that way and say, oh, I need to put the bottom of the feet, then I need to do the next layer of the feet, but slightly smaller. Then I have to create the tops of the legs and work your way up. That would be cool to try it, just on a very
Yeah.
basic level. But
Well,
this is a great
think
hand-eye
more.
coordination tool.
Yeah, think more plotter than printer.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yep.
So you will do stuff like that, but you'll also do stuff that are a lot more keen to drawing. So it's nice.
plotters.
Just YouTube 3Doodler and you'll see very creative ideas.
I used to do a lot of stuff on plotters.
Um,
A lot of drawings
Gal,
on plotters.
do you have any idea how much the supplies?
Oh, you buy for like $20. You buy like a bunch that
Okay.
has
Okay.
I don't know 50. They come like in sticks. So
Okay.
and you feed
Alright.
those sticks.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not terribly expensive or anything like that. It's fun.
So it sticks like a glue gun, kind of thing.
Yeah, but very very thin. More like
okay. Yeah.
I'm not. How do you call dukim in English? You have an idea?
Oh shoot.
Yeah, it's like
Oh.
a game where you spread the sticks and you need to pick the sticks. You know that game?
Pixie sticks.
Yeah, so it's
That's
something
what-
like that. It looks like that.
No, I think it was that. Yeah, whatever. All right. So that's $79. And then LED flame speaker, torch, atmospheric Bluetooth speaker, outdoor portable speaker for $39.
That's cool.
A lot of people have now. I've seen people's front porches with
Yeah, our front porch is like
flame
that.
bulbs going, LED flame bulbs. And it wasn't, and even after Halloween was over, they kept them on there. So they still have them. So it's really an interesting, this would be very nice to, for sitting outside and in the evening and so on. So that's $39. Got a real sonar wireless Bluetooth smart fish finder.
It actually
no.
chases the fish.
You lay it in the water and
Yep.
your phone connects to it and it gives you the sonar view of what a fish finder would do. It's very clever.
Portable
$89.
sonar.
So
That is.
Yeah. So that's not, but the traditional fish finder, you had the sending unit at the back of the boat. You ran a cable up to the dash and you had your screen there and you looked at the screen and you adjusted your screen. And as you moved around, you would, if you were sitting still, you would actually see the fish move across the screen as it's a sweeping screen. So this is very interesting and the price is good for, I would say this is useful in a pond. I don't think you're going to use it in the ocean where, if you stick it out there, you could lose it basically, unless it's got a tethered cable or something. But if it's tethered, then why be Bluetooth? But this would be great for a pond, or, fishing in a pond, a calm lake or something. That's cool. $89. Now, I am a big fan of Bose stuff. The problem I have with Bose is it's so dang expensive. But here you go, a micro portable speaker from Bose. If it sounds as good as some of the other stuff I have from Bose, it'll be an awesome sound. And there are some good Bluetooth speakers out there, but there are a whole bunch of bad ones that sound horrible. Go to the Five Below store and look at the stuff they have for $5. And
Well,
but even so, I have some that are $25, $35, $40 Bluetooth stuff. And some of them are pretty good. Some of them stink. But in this price range, this is the first time I've seen something from Bose. Bose micro portable Bluetooth speaker, waterproof.
Yeah, but you still
$119.
But you still don't know that it sounds as good as you would like it.
But the Bose reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Bose speaker that somebody gave me because I had bought something else. And it's just a small bookshelf thing, not very big, programmable. But what's nice about it, I keep it turned off. I press the button. It comes on and it sound incredible. Didn't you have a Bose? Didn't Kathy have a Bose radio?
Radio, we still have it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got fantastic sound. Bass and all that. But this thing, and even with my poor hearing, sounds great to me compared to some other things. But yeah, I like Bose. But this is if there's finally stuff showing up in this price range. They did have one other one slightly larger
Rocketbook.
for 120 something.
Yeah.
All right, so Rocketbook. Now this is not the book itself is just a
Yeah.
basically a dry erase pad that you do your doodling in the book. You write your notes out, and then you have an app on your phone that takes a photograph of it or picture of it, and then it stores it in a cloud, and you can actually create documents from that. And I don't know about OCR. I didn't read that far into it to see if it'll actually do OCR of your notes. But for $31, just if you take a lot of notes, if you're in school and you are going to make an image of your notes to save, you could use other software.
What's
for
the
OCR
microfiber for?
to clean it. To clean it. Once you use it, you said you need to wait 15 to 30 seconds before you move away from the page for the ink to dry, basically. And once it's dry, it's dry. And then you use the microfiber to remove it from the surface.
Is this the one that you put in the microwave to erase?
I don't see that.
There is a book like that.
It warms it up. Although this has a spiral. I don't know if it's a metal spiral on the edge there. That would be interesting. But $31. I mean, this would be a great gift for a kid who takes notes and has a phone. So depending on they do say they offer a cloud storage. Now, I don't know if that's an extra fee, but it's interesting. This next one, we've seen this before. And every time I see this, I say, this is a fantastic thing. So this is not new, but you can't beat this if you want to give somebody a really unusual gift. Just the thing you have to pay attention to here, this is a spinning blade. And there's no guard around the fan. So you got to be careful. It's a soft blade. It won't kill you. It won't cut you.
I had someone at the office with this.
Yeah.
It is not, I mean, you can't get hurt from it.
No, you can't get hurt.
Yeah.
But
the cool thing on Friday, it says Happy Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can program other things into it. Birthdays. I could put in, it'll say, you can program it so that it will, happy birthday. It'll know your birthday based on the date. So I had one and I gave it to my daughter, and I just ordered another one for myself because I think it's so cool. But $14.99, and I like the 1-year warranty thing. I don't remember what the warranty was before, if that's different. But just a cool, fun thing. Okay, next one on the next page. Instead of Go-Go, it's Go-Go-Go. Sport V-Pro Laser Golf Hunting Rangefinder, 6X magnification. How useful is this? It depends on what you do. But if you are a photographer, even if you're not just into golf and hunting and things like that, if you're a photographer, if you are into hiking, you want to say, well, there's that spot we're going to. How far away is it? Right. And this is great because it's very accurate and very small. Which is nice. I have the mechanical rangefinders, which are just prisms that you look through it and you roll a knob back and forth, and it lines up the prism. When the prism's lined up, you can tell approximate distance. It's okay, but this will give you a much more accurate distance, and I think you can save some stuff with it. All right, so that's $74, which is it's on sale from $99. Hand operated drones. These were around last year. Just saw these come out where you can just basically turn this thing on in a room and you can play by throwing it back and forth. Do you have one? A gal's going to get it, I think. There we go. Yep, same one. And you turn it on and you could just play games with it and bounce it around and just, it's a cool device, and it's $22. And indoor helicopter ball, it's safe because it's got the full cage around there it goes. Yeah. You play with it.
Wait. Hold it. Spence, don't talk.
It's noisy as hell, but it's so cute.
That's fun. Yeah.
It charges with a USB cable. So
good.
It's it's easy to maintain. It's fun with kids and stuff. And it's so light that even if it hits something, it won't break anything unless, it's a vase that's sitting very, very on the edge of something.
I saw one video where it has kids playing like indoor baseball with it, where they fling it.
Oh, that's cool.
They got to catch it and then throw it to the base and they're out. kind of a thing. So it's interesting stuff. It's like a safe indoor Frisbee that's gyroscopic. All right, this next one, the reason I put this up here, this is not a new concept, but they've gone to the next level now with backpacks. This travel laptop backpack. It's water resistant, so it's got the ceiling zippers. It's got built-in mechanical locks that take the tabs of the zippers and lock the tabs together with a combination lock. And it also has on the outside USB ports. It's got an indoor. I don't know that it comes with the charger pack. It says charging port. My daughter bought one like this. This is why I thought this was interesting. And she showed it to me yesterday. She was over the house. You take your charger pack, there's a sleeve inside, you put it inside.
Yeah.
You run a cable from the charger pack to this interface that connects to the outside and gives you USB ports on the outside that connect to the internal charger pack. So that's why this is only $29. But the quality of hers, and she showed me it, but it was excellent for the price she paid for it. Very nice, good ideas. I like the whole charging side of it too. $29, and that's normally, well, what does it say? Save 5% with a coupon. It's $29. Normally $48. I guess 5% on top of that. And then the next one is a rechargeable hand warmers. Amnon, do you remember the little hand warmer? Now they have the packets. You tear the packet open and you hold it, and it gets hot for a couple hours.
Right.
And they're okay. Look, I've used those a lot, when it was really cold. I actually put them in my shoes one time.
Yeah.
And do you remember there was a hand warmer from when I was a kid that you filled with lighter fluid.
No.
And it was a little catalytic heater. And it was inside a felt bag, and you put it and you lit it, and it had a flame. When the flame went out, the whatever that material was would glow. You put a cap on it, and it showed, one of the things they showed is that people lighting their cigarettes off of it. So it was that hot. And I used it when I was camping in Boy Scouts, and it was a really cold night. We're camping, and I didn't put it in my sleeping bag, and I must have rolled over on it because I woke up in the morning, I had a burn. Not terrible, like a stage 1, sunburn kind of thing, but I definitely had a burn from it. But this is much safer because it's got safety controls built into it. 5200 milliamp heat. What do you call it? Battery pack in it. Rechargeable hand warmer, and it's $27. Good. I mean, just it's a great idea. All right, so now this is the most expensive thing I saw today, and this is a mobile home smart golf simulator. Now, granted, you could do this with gaming. If you had a game console, you could do something like this with. But this is designed to work with any television or on a tablet or whatever. But you run the app on a tablet, you link to the TV using your push streaming, and you play golf with the stick. And it looked like a great.
So it's like the Wii
of it. It's like doing the Wii stuff, but it's very portable. You don't have to have a game console; it's just on your phone. So $249, not super cheap. All right, but Amnon, this last one, this is for you. This is the Burrito Tortilla blanket. What you didn't see in this is at the top of the screen on the Amazon page, it said top seller.
Really?
I didn't realize that the tortilla blanket was so popular. But it says giant, funny, realistic food throw. I think they
does it smell like it too?
A pizza version of this too. I think there's a pizza version of this too, which is absolutely hysterical for $27.99. So, all right, well, that's it for today. It generated a lot of. I knew if I had even just had a few things there, we'd still spend some time on this, just talking about it. But I'll continue through the holidays to find interesting stuff that we can look at each week.
And if anybody wants to get that file, it is at computers2know.com/special.
Yes, and the link, the tiny URL link for each
will work.
Is in the file. It's a PDF, so the link will be active. That's it for specials for today.
Thanks, Spence.
You're welcome.
Thank you very, very much.
Before we go off into another subject, can I talk briefly about the XM renewal?
No.
No? Okay.
Of course you can.
I have had XM radio. Well, I did have the portable kind, like the little receivers that you put in your car. I had those for years. And then for a long time, I didn't have XM. And then when I bought the Altima back in 2000, end of 2014, it had an XM radio and came with a 1-year free subscription. And from that time, I kept it because we go on a lot of car trips, and it was just nice to have it. And yes, we could stream, hook up the radio to the iPad, iPhone, but still, I kept it, and we liked it. Pam got her Beetle. The Beetle had XM radio, so both of us like it because I have my 8 or 10 channels that I'll listen to, even locally. I'll ride around because I don't listen to much news anymore on the radio. But and the local radio stations are okay, but I'd like to listen to the stuff I like. And so I have it every year set up that a couple of days before my plan rolls over, that I would call them and say I'm canceling, and to try to get a bet. And every year I get a deal. I get the same deal plus a couple of bucks. So this year I was prepared. It was running. Last year's was about $156 for the year per car to have XM, and that includes. Used to be it was just the car. Now it includes the car, online streaming, and something else. Was it? Well, this year they had a Pandora bundle, but I was already paying for Pandora for like $3 a month through Apple. But I went to there and I went to the web. For some reason, I went to the web page also. But normally I just call the number and I say I'm canceling, and then I talk to somebody who would go through the whole back and forth.
Retention.
I renew.
Yeah.
So I went online and I just said, "Oh, here's it showed my radio." And I said, I clicked on cancel. Pops up the next screen. Would you like to look at these other offers first before you leave? Well, look at them. I got the same package I had last year that I paid $150 for $72 by going through this process. And for both cars, I got each one for $72. And that includes everything I had last year. And I was like, this is incredible. They also offered for I think it was a difference of like from 79 to 99 or 70, whatever it was, 90 something dollars. They also gave you the full version of Pandora if you wanted it for that much. And I was like, this is incredible for the whole year. I already had the Pandora, and I used that in the camper we have now. It's got a Bluetooth radio, but does not have an XM receiver. So when we're traveling, I just hook the phone up and I use Pandora. But what I like about XM is no matter where you are, as long as you have good line of sight to the sky, it's going to work. You don't have to worry about having a weak signal from broadband. There's some places we've driven where we're out on the highway and it's like very spotty internet. So not like that time I called you, I'm from New Mexico. Remember that?
So what's the difference between XM and Sirius?
It's the same thing. XM, it's Sirius XM, same company.
Okay, so it is Sirius.
Yeah, it's the same thing. They merged a number of years ago, and I say XM because that's what I originally had, but it's Sirius XM is the company. So I think that they've realized that they're losing their shirts with competition, from internet-based stuff. So they may as well keep it going, and they own Pandora now too. So this way they can merge. They can have a keep their stream of money coming in, even if they're not making as much as they did. I think it was a very smart move, and I liked it because Pam loves the Beetle channel on XM. That's what she listens to in the car. And there's other shows that I really like on XM that I listen to when I'm in the car, the blues channels, and I could do that on Pandora, but it's good. If you sign up for the Pandora support, it actually adds it to the screen, the Sirius XM screen. So it's an available channel that you configure online and it shows up on your receiver, which is nice.
All right.
And that's all I have to say about that.
So
Go
instead
ahead.
of speaking with a human being, the website automatically suggests when you want to cancel, right? Why do they just not give you the better price?
I know. I know.
I know.
This is
It's always
so
frustrating
yeah.
because I guess a lot of people don't pay attention, and
Yeah, but
it
that's
rolls
like,
over. And
how is
I-
that still
um,
legal?
There was
well,
something.
you agree to the terms and conditions because what they
Yeah, I know.
when you print out your current contract, it says at this date, here's what it's going to cost at this date, and it tells you what the new price will be when this expires. So you signed the contract to say I agree to this.
So
But they're very upfront about it. So you just have to.
So is there a service, right, that can, like a third party service, that you can, I don't know, pay $1 a year or something like that, and all it does, it periodically goes to cancel your account and get a better,
like a little bot.
yeah, a bit exactly, a little bot.
Yeah.
If you
Like
could-
it cries for that.
If you could, or you could just hire a service that acts on your behalf, has power of attorney essentially to go in and negotiate all this stuff for you.
Yeah, and you pay them $150 a year.
And if you have a lot of
No.
subscriptions,
That's why I'm saying a bot, right? Something that
Yeah.
would not require human
Right. Interaction.
labor. Yeah.
So there's something on those lines here in this story. Discovering they had to get on the phone to cancel a subscription they signed up for online, ranked several respondents in the survey looking at why people cancel their news subscription. Their reaction to the call to cancel policy ranged from an annoyance to ridiculous to shady and oppressive. Publishers tend to think of this as retention. A study of 526 news organizations in the United States found that only 41% make it easy for people to cancel subscriptions online, and more than half trained customer service reps in tactics to dissuade customers who call to unsubscribe. The Federal Trade Commission, meanwhile, recently made it clear that it sees the practice as one of several dark patterns that trick or trap consumers into subscriptions, and two, straight up illegal. The FTC vowed to ramp up enforcement on companies that fail to provide an easy and simple cancellation process, including an option that at least as easy as the one to subscribe. Translation: if you can subscribe online, you should be able to cancel your subscription online. Makes sense.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what we said a
Yeah.
moment ago.
Yeah. You should do the whole thing.
So I'm guessing, in this case, SiriusXM, they read the memo and saw this coming, and that's why on the website is as easy to do it, right? That it's just so they won't be liable. So
No.
great.
To
Now let's see
call-
Spectrum do it.
Yeah. Sure. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't hold your breath. Now listen to this thing. That's interesting, especially now coming up. Amazon plans to stop accepting payments made via Visa credit cards issued in the UK starting next year. The e-commerce giant has told some customers that from January 19 onward, the company will no longer accept Visa credit cards issued in Britain due to the high fees Visa charges for processing credit card transactions. So if you have a credit card that was issued in England, the UK, you are not going to be able to pay with it on Amazon. starting
Well,
January
not
19th.
any credit card. Credit card by Visa.
By
If,
Visa, yeah.
If they go
yeah,
with
yes, yes.
Mastercard or somebody
That's
else,
fine.
yeah.
I always thought
That's
I always thought MasterCard Visa was the same kind of like company or
I
I don't
mean,
know.
there are networks, right? So uh it matters. So the brand supports, like, there's this backbone of that you get from different brands. You get
Mhm.
a different backbone from Visa. You get a different backbone from Mastercard. Then you go to a specific bank, for example, or a credit card issuer. They can work with multiple brands, and so you will have a Chase, for example, card that can be a Mastercard, or a Chase card that can
Right.
be a Visa.
Yeah.
So it all, and so it's like, who is the first processor of it that snips a bit of the charge, and then there's another one, and there's another one, right? There's a whole chain. You have the credit card processor that gives you the actual machine that reads, right? There's a whole chain of bodies in between. And Visa and Mastercard, they are separate. They are competitors.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. That's like the you remember when you couldn't get YouTube on Amazon
Yeah.
Fire TV,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Yeah.
these type of quarrels, and yeah.
Do you remember a few weeks ago we were talking about VR application for people with lazy eye
I
that
remember
they
something,
fix?
yeah.
They can fix
Yeah.
it. Well, here's another story. The Food and Drug Administration authorized a virtual reality system as a prescription treatment for chronic back pain. The agency
pain?
announced last week. The therapy, called EaseVRx, joins the short list of digital therapeutics cleared by the agency over the past few years. EaseVRx includes a VR headset and a device that amplifies the sound of the user's breath to assist in breathing exercises. It uses principles from cognitive behavior therapy, which aims to help people recognize and understand various thought patterns and emotions. The program addresses pain through relaxation, distraction, and improved awareness of internal signals, the FDA said it in a statement. So these are serious
That's
uses
cool.
for VR, which is nice.
I saw something I didn't include it in the ad because I found it on a different device, and I have to bring it over and remember what the link was. But it was something to help you sleep, where it would project on the ceiling above you. It had breathing sounds built into it, but it would project on the ceiling like a dot on the ceiling that, as you inhaled, would expand,
Yeah.
and as you exhale, and you could set the rate, and you would use it because a lot of the fall asleep exercises are breathing. Where if you can just concentrate on breathing, you say to yourself, in, out, and you just lay there and just keep doing that. If you don't get distracted, you will fall asleep. And it's amazing. It was not expensive, and you set it on, you set it next to your bed or somewhere in the room, and it would just expand and contract and help you look at it and help you concentrate on breathing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Good
I need
stuff.
one
Then-
to keep me up in the evenings, to go to bed later. Go,
You
And then
fall
it
asleep in a
hypnotizes
chair.
you.
Gal, what were you going to say?
I say, then it hypnotizes you and then sends you to the computer to put in your social security number.
Amnon, you wake up. Why are you out in the driveway in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
It's just a car drives by and you hand them some money and it continues.
No, it was looking for a LTE signal.
All right.
Yep.
Windows 10.
Is
Along
that a
with
thing?
the
That's still a thing?
well, Listen to this. Along with the release of Windows 10's November 2021 update, Microsoft announced that it will no longer provide Windows 10 updates twice per year.
Ah, okay.
This is meant, instead, it's switching to a once per year schedule. As Ars Technica notes, this is meant to sync Windows 10 update schedule with Windows 11, which is also going to receive major feature update once a year. Microsoft hasn't committed to the number of yearly updates it will provide for Windows 10, but the company will support at least one version of the OS until update support ends in October 2025. Microsoft is promising 18 months of support for Windows 10 21H2, so it seems safe to assume that we'll at least see 22H2 and 22H and 23H2 for Windows 10. That's Windows 10. For businesses using Windows 10 Enterprise, version 21H2 is also a long-term servicing channel and will receive update support for 5 years instead of 18 months. While more Windows 10 updates will be welcome news for anyone who isn't ready to move to Windows 11 or worse, hardware doesn't support the new OS. It's not clear what feature updates will entail for an operating system that has been replaced. So I like it. It's not, I mean, I didn't.
Less breaking.
It's what?
Breaking only once a year.
Well,
instead
yeah,
of 2 times
that's
a
what I
year.
was going to say. Yeah. And so it'll be nice if we don't get updates every Tuesday.
Well, that's still
That
gonna
will,
count.
yeah, that will still
Yeah.
go on. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it'll
But
break
the
only
features
once.
update, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, one of the computers I'm running is running Windows 11.
Yeah.
It's a good system. I can't say there's huge differences. There's some better conveniences when it comes to the system management. I think it does it a bit better. You know, dealing with drivers and stuff like that. It's a little bit less confusing than Windows 10 because Windows 10 has this duality of being part Windows 7,
Yeah.
part
Right.
these new ideas that came in Windows 8, but still not complete. And it looks like Windows 11 has done a major leap forward there. Still, though, I can't see myself using the App Store, the application store, so much more, unless something will change. It does seem, though, that the application store now handles regular installation stuff that that would have an MSI or something that installs software, compared to only the unique, new modern style UI type applications. Seems like it has the ability to deal with that as well, which is nice. But I still use my command line tools a lot more than anything that Windows supports. So it's like they've done they went another inch forward, but I'm not sure it's a huge leap. So people should be comfortable with it. If you've never moved your taskbar from the bottom, I don't see any problem of using it. It won't feel too foreign. With the large screens that people are using today, the fact that the default location for the taskbar is the middle is actually a good thing. It will require, some adjustment, but not much. Other than that, the visual candy is nice. The audio is crisper. It's software. It's not. I think it's a good OS. Let's just hope that the next update will allow me to put the taskbar on the side, and then that's when I'll switch it on another computer.
Did it happen automatically, or you went looking for it?
What do you mean?
They
Oh no, it's a new computer. I installed it. It came baked with Windows 10. I just automatically upgrade to it. So like before I started using it.
okay, so it did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I actually needed to download the media because I don't know that, you know, the way Microsoft rolls out those updates, it's not everybody got it yet. I think it's rolling in phases who is allowed to upgrade automatically, like from Windows updates.
Right. That's what I was
Uh,
wondering.
Yeah, no. So it wasn't available from Windows updates. I had to download the media, but it did not have any issues. It was like completely supported. It's not everything in the hardware. I didn't need to do any override or anything like that. It was just wasn't in a batch. It is an older, it's like an 8th generation i5 or something like that. So it's not like a newer CPU. So I'm guessing the older hardware is getting the prompt to upgrade to Windows 11 later. They're probably going from newer hardware first and then going to the older ones, even though it's supported, right? They're just rolling it
Yeah.
out that way.
They want to
That's my
make sure
guess.
that they don't get a bad rap.
Yeah,
Not too many people are going to complain. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So Google Chrome 96 was released last Monday, and users are reporting problems with Twitter, Discord, and Instagram caused by the new version. That's coming from Bleeping Computer. The issues have been reported to Google in a Chromium bug post where Google employees have started to investigate the problem. We're continuing to see user reports about this behavior, including reports from our social team. So if you see problems with Twitter, Discord, or Instagram, and you're using Chrome, you're probably going to need to go and check and see if there is a new one.
Or install Firefox.
Or install Firefox. Now, you're talking about Firefox. Yesterday, I was ready to uninstall Firefox and forget about it.
That's fine.
No, but I didn't want to. I mean, the truth is, I didn't want to. The next time you hear, you really need to. Every time I say it, I was trying to get on Citi to set up an account,
Citibank.
Citibank, to pay a credit card, and I set it up last week. This week, it said this is where you go to pay. So I click on it, and it just says loading. Nothing happened. I copied the
Yeah.
link, put it in Google, in Chrome, bang, went right there. I went
I
back.
can tell you what the problem is.
I think you told me, and I don't think I understand it.
No, it's
I went and
from an update from 2 weeks ago.
I
So
disabled all the containers, whatever options, the add-ons. That didn't do it.
That's not it.
Okay.
Yeah, so the thing is, the latest update, latest major update.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 or maybe 3 weeks ago. Firefox has defaulted to block third-party cookies automatically. There's like a new feature they introduced called something isolation something, and there's and you can do it for the website itself to bypass that. So some banking sites will probably require that, and you can just switch it off, and then it'll work. It's like a built-in privacy protection in the browser. And so obviously some of the services assume they have freedom to track you via a lot of different components, sites, services that they are using, and some of them are used for stuff like authentication. And so you don't get that web page because it needs to come from another component, and they haven't set it up correctly for preserving your privacy. And so when it comes to something like a new Firefox, a default installation, then it'll seem like it's malfunctioning.
So
And you can fix it rather
how do you
easily.
fix it now? I'm sure I'm not the
So-
only one then.
The easiest way is you have like a shield icon next to the lock that says this is an encrypted site. That shield contains permissions and stuff, and one of them is enhanced tracking protection is on, and you can just switch that off for
Really?
that site. Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, that should be the first thing. And if that doesn't work, there's another thing that you can do for the entire browser, but that usually is all you need to do.
Oh, so this is per site.
Yeah, so that switch that you'll switch, it's just for the website you're on.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Did you get a chance to look at the
Hmm.
semiconductor sales forecasts? They released a company called IC, which does ranking and forecast information, came out with their November report and a prediction for 2022.
Are you switching direction now? Or
Yep.
are we still talking about
Oh.
the same thing?
Oh, I thought we were done.
Oh,
No, we're done.
okay. Go ahead.
I thought there was a lag there, so I jumped in. But AMD is number one with a projected growth of 65%. And the two lowest ones, the very bottom is Sony, which will drop 2%, and Intel, which will drop 1%. So out of a 25 company ranking, Sony and Intel are 24 and 25.
Fake news.
And AMD is number one because of the growth in their CPU, GPU and CPUs, and as well as their data center product, EPIC product. And the top five are MediaTek, NVIDIA, Qualcomm, and SMIC. Of those, AMD, NVIDIA, and Qualcomm are U.S. companies. MediaTek is a Taiwanese company, and SMIC is a Chinese company.
They were
The
talking about
the only Chinese company listed was SMIC, and I don't know what they make.
there was a story somewhere that one of the computer manufacturers, I don't remember who it was, is changing from Qualcomm to MediaTek. Or maybe one of the phone companies. I don't know. It wasn't.
I did
Qualcomm,
see
that's
that.
what Samsung is using, no? Snapdragon.
No, they're going away from the Snapdragon to
Yeah,
MediaTek. I mean,
Samsung?
I think my phone, which is a Motorola, also uses
Qualcomm.
Snapdragon.
Mm.
And talking about a phone, Gal, you sent a link to this, what was it? Something to detect? No. What was it this morning you sent it?
Oh, it's like a website
Yeah.
that shows what your browser knows about you and your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, you really need to post it in here.
Yeah,
you
I'll
have
post the link.
because it was very interesting. I mean, thank God, a lot of the stuff.
It's very easy to remember. It's deviceinfo.me, M-E. Deviceinfo.me. Yeah. So if you're not on chat, you can also see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes you think about privacy a lot more. It shows you the amount of information the browser knows about you, whether you're on a PC or on your mobile. On your mobile, I think you'll be surprised how much information is exposed by default.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And this, you don't need to download anything. This is, you just go to that link and it'll do something, and then it'll show you all the information. Wow. Yep.
And it does include stuff that the browser by default will ask you for permissions, right? So you can trigger that. It'll ask you for the permission.
Yeah.
You can deny it, and then you can see, even after you denied, what type of information it still has, right? So it's eye-opening.
It is.
It's nothing new. I mean, we always
Right,
knew,
but it's
especially listeners to our show, right? We all are aware that there's a ton of information going out, but this is eye-opening because it shows how much and what precisely is going out, and so it's yeah, I think it's a very useful web page.
Yep. I mean, even though when you see it, it's a whole different reaction, a whole different way of thinking now.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Anything else anybody wants to bring up? No? All right.
Nope.
Well, thanks, Gal. Thanks, Spence. Have
You're
a
welcome.
happy Thanksgiving, and everybody out there also have a happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie and Donna, Dina, Arlington, Micha, Eleanor, Sarid. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing, back up your hard drive, and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Again, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Nick is on Wilmington's 980 The Wave AM and 107.9 FM. You can also listen to the podcast recordings at nickcraig.com. And Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Twitch, Brian and Nick do the Infection Podcast show for survival games. If you're into survival games, don't miss it. Infection Podcast, one word, on Twitch, Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Again, have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.